Hello, everyone. Catchy underneath you with Catchy Gaming, and today I read the Ask the Developer articles that Nintendo puts out. It's number 19, which is Donkey Kong Bonanza. I actually love reading these things. They don't go into the depth that I would like, but I like reading them. I like to sort of see what other developers have gone through. I shouldn't say other developers, what developers have gone through. Right now, one of the things that keeps me from doing too much for in terms of long form content is I'm actually helping somebody with a game. I know, right? I am the artist on the game, and I am very amateurish. So that's part of why I like to read these. But I'll show you just what is basically some a concept art of what I've done. It's a pixel game. So there it is. That's just a character. It's going to undergo some large changes at some point or another due to expanding it from a 32 by 32 to 128 by 128, giving me more ability to add folds and detail to it. And since it's pixel, I have a little bit more control over it than versus me trying to do it freehand after I crushed my hand. But anyways, let's get back to Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I didn't know about this till recently, but the same team that made Mario Odyssey made Donkey Kong Bonanza, so I have high hopes for this. And when Nintendo did their direct for the Switch 2, this was actually the game that I wanted to play. Yes, Mario Kart World, I'm enjoying that, but I would have actually preferred to have Donkey Kong Bonanza on launch day. So let me hedge that statement just a little bit by saying that I may not like the game, but based on surface level comparisons, yes, I probably would have preferred a single player game. Which I guess technically Mario Kart kind of is, but I think I would have preferred Bonanza over Mario Kart World. So one of the things they did is they went back to Miyamoto for input on the character, and as a result, they went back to Donkey Kong from the arcade and sort of more or less based this, I don't know, kind of reboot, reimagining of Donkey Kong around that, making him bigger and bulkier and stronger. And I guess they actually kind of did the same thing for the movie as well as a result. But the whole idea of destruction came about from them experimenting with characters. Like they gave a Goomba a set of arms. And then they just kept messing around with it and stuff like that. And that's how the destruction aspect of the game came around, combined with the new redesign of Donkey Kong's bulky, strength based destruction that they kind of went with. But then one of the things that sort of intrigued me was the use of voxels in the game, which are just cubes, more or less. There's a couple of games that I am familiar with, like Astroneer or Hydroneer, that use voxels. And that's how they get the destructible terrain. It actually kind of reminded me of Red Faction, the very first one, when they had the destructible terrain. I never played anything past the first one. I know they kind of added it later in, but that series kind of died, so oh well. And they actually started developing Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch one, but they ran into limitations due to its hardware, and then they switched over to the Switch 2. And you can see from these screenshots that there's more foliage and more going on. And then they talk about a bunch of other things. I'm going to leave a link, hopefully I'll actually remember, in the description to this. But one of the other sort of neat things that they did is the logo for Donkey Kong Bonanza was inspired by the original Donkey Kong with the girders and the blue ladders. So all those pink and blue bits you see in the smashing animation that they have there, or image, I should say, is inspired by that. And the last bit that I actually kind of thought was, I don't know, neat that they talked about was that Pauline was actually a last minute addition to the game as a character that people can relate to. I mean, I'm dead inside, so I probably won't, but that's kind of neat, I guess. Although it does raise some questions. Is this a prequel, a sequel, reboot? How does that work considering Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City and Mario Odyssey and the whole entire Donkey Kong versus Mario arcade slash other games as well? I don't know. We'll find out when the game releases. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble. I would encourage you to read this though. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Have a good one.